Okay, we're back, and I realized that I made a mistake when writing this up. This question should read, how many moles of H2 will be produced if given 17.0 grams of HCl? Okay, so I'm going to move this up a little bit. So start with what you've been given, which is the HCl, and then you're going to be having to use the molar mass and the molar ratio, but you're going to first have to calculate the molar mass of HCl. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do this, so I'm going to pause for a few seconds, and please pause and come back when you're done. Okay, hopefully you've finished this, and we're going to start again with the 17.0 grams of HCl. And this is going to be going from grams to moles, moles to grams. So I want to cancel my grams of HCl. Grams of HCl will be on the bottom. I'm converting to moles of HCl. 1 mole of HCl weighs, well, we have to find the molar mass. What's the molar mass of HCl? This is an independent problem that we need to do. So I have an H and I have a Cl. I have one H and one Cl. I've given you the masses. The mass of hydrogen is 1.0. The mass of chlorine is 34.5. So I have a 1.0 and a 34.5. When I add those together, I get 35.5 grams. So this is the atomic mass of hydrogen. There's one of each. Atomic mass of chlorine, 1. And add the atomic masses together. And we're going to plug that 35.5 into here. So now I've just converted my grams of HCl into moles of HCl. But we're trying to find how many moles of H2. So I'm going to use now the molar ratio. 1 mole of HCl, to cancel it right here, is how many moles? Actually, it's going to be 2 moles of HCl from the coefficient to how many moles of H2? There's 1 mole of H2. So now we've got one number in the numerator, because it's multiplied by 1, divided by 2 things. Make sure on your calculator that you have used parentheses. So the units of moles of HCl will cancel, and you'll take your 17.0 divided by parentheses 35.5 times 2. That will give me 0.239 moles. What you could also do is, if you don't like using parentheses, you could also do 17.0 divided by 35.5 divided by 2, and you also get 0.239 moles. Now the last problem is the most difficult, and this is going to be going through all the steps: grams, moles, moles to grams. So how many grams of CaCl2 will be produced given 24 grams of this? So you'll start with your 24 grams, you'll convert to moles of HCl, then you're going to multiply that by the molar ratio, then you're going to have to multiply that by the molar mass of your CaCl2. And again, you have to calculate that. So please go ahead and attempt this problem and come back when you've finished. Okay, hopefully you were successful with that one. We're going to check to see if you guys are correct on this. So how many grams of CaCl2 will be produced? So we always start with our value of what we've been given, which is 24.0 grams of HCl. I need to multiply this by the molar mass. Okay, so here I'm going to have 3 multiplications. Okay, the first one is going to be the molar mass. This is going to be the molar ratio found in the coefficients, and then again, the molar mass again, but it's going to be the molar mass of the product. So I'm going to be looking at my units. I'm going to cancel my grams of HCl and convert to moles of HCl. 1 mole of HCl, we've already done this calculations on the previous page, and we calculated it to be 35.5 grams. Grams HCl, grams HCl. We've now converted from grams to moles of my reactant. Now why not convert from moles of reactant to moles of product using the molar ratio? So I'm going to cancel my moles of HCl, and I'm looking for calcium chloride, so the moles of CaCl2. What's that ratio? If you look at the coefficients, the CaCl2 is 1. What's the moles of HCl? 2. So that goes there. So our first step, we convert from grams to moles. We convert from moles to the molar ratio. Now we need to convert from moles of product to grams of product, and that's just the molar mass. So I'm going to have moles of CaCl2 to grams of CaCl2. 1 mole weighs, well, this is what we now have to calculate. So I have an additional problem here. We have calcium and we have chlorine. We have 1 calcium, we have 2 chlorines. Calcium weighs 40.1, chlorine weighs 34.5. 1 times 40.1 gives me 40.1. If I take 34.5 times 2, that will give me 69.0. Add these together, this will give me 109.1. And that is the mass of calcium chloride, 109.1 grams. So now we have to multiply everything on the top. Actually, let's cancel. Moles of calcium chloride, we converted to grams. So it's this times this times this times this. Well, this is just 1, so it's really just this times this divided by this times this. And again, you have to make sure that you use parentheses or divide twice. So you have 24 times 109.1 divided by parentheses 35.5 times 2, and we will get 36.9 grams of calcium chloride. We can do this a different way. We can do 24 times 109.1 divided by 35.5 divided by 2, and that will also give me 36.9 grams. So if I started off with 24 grams of hydrochloric acid, I would end up with 36.9 grams of calcium chloride. That's it.